it's broken over it. She says, yo, I'm feeling like in the 90s and it's like the late 80s, early 90s. Good time. Okay, so I have made it, and look, I have changed clothes. I bet you're like, what? It's exactly the same as what I usually wear. It is. I have a gray one and a black one. I actually bought these for Christmas a couple years ago, and uh, I got a gray one for Chris and a black one for me or something, and they're super wonderful. But I am excited today to do this live chat with you. Nancy Strong says, good morning. You viewers may know Nancy Strong as the lady who's like, hey, there's a coupon for that. Like 2 weeks in a row. So, I do have a special announcement that I'm going to be making a little bit later in the live stream, and I want to be talking a little bit about that. Do you guys have an idea of what it is? I really wanted Chris to be here when we did this live stream so we could announce this together, but good morning, Kim Welsh. Oh, broken over it. Think she knows. So, but the kids, after the last one, Debt-Free Donna, good morning. Nancy Strong. Oh, Nancy thinks she knows what it is. She thinks it's a baby. Kim says she has an idea. This is so funny. This is a good morning, Cindy. I wanted to talk a little bit about, because I do like to always have a subject to talk about at the beginning. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm afraid that if I talk about that, it's gonna, I'm not sure what I want to do with this, but you know what, let's do like 10 minutes or so of chatting, and then we're gonna go ahead and maybe like at 10:15, let's say 10:15. Let's do the announcement at 10:15, and then I can talk about my subject then. So, good morning, Sarah Lewis. Welcome. I'm pretty excited. I thought that I would not be so brightly washed out. Good morning, Gigi. But I am like really bright. It's like totally like overcast today. But I'm pretty white. I'm pretty colorless. So let's talk about yesterday, what I did. A little bit. We went out to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings, and as you may or may not know, I am on the keto diet, and I chose to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because I got a strong hankering for chicken wings. I really wanted chicken wings with like Frank's Red Hot and butter, because that's like wing sauce that a lot of places use. And I got their mild wings, and let me tell you, I was a balla. Random hand signals. And I ordered a large, like I was gonna eat all that. I think I ate all but like 6, and I'm like, I gotta be done, guys. Also, my lips are a little chapped, and I wear a lot of chapstick. And I'm just gonna say their wing sauce it's pretty spicy for mild, but dude, my whole lips were on fire, because every chapped place, every place that could split, like, hi Birdie! Wow, dude, it was almost like the wings were not the problem, but the lip burn I almost could not handle. But it was really good, and I enjoyed that, and the kids were pretty reasonable. We had to go to Kent, and we had to go to the college part of Kent, which is kind of horrible because parking. That's why. It's parking. It's not because college kids are bad or anything like that, but it is like terrible parking. We had to park far away. Hi, Jane Allness. Welcome. Jane has a website. If you guys have not been to it, has a lot of great recipes and a lot of great tips for saving money on your groceries. So, Jane, if you have a minute, you should post the link to your website so everyone can see it. Anyway, that happened. So, also, another fun fact is that Buffalo Wild Wings happens to be across the street from the Kent stage, which is a stage, it hosts both bands and movies. And they are showing Rocky Horror Picture Show. Buffalo wings are so good, and they're on our diet, dude. As long as you don't have a sweet sauce, they're on our diet. Oh yeah. And I just love me some Franks. I like this. I like a hot wing, but I don't like the nutso fire sauce. I that's just dumb to me. I'm just like, no. Uh-oh. Bernie thinks she knows what it is. So right now what we're doing is at 10:15 I'm going to go ahead and make my announcement, and from here until then I want you to comment what you think the announcement is. Some people claim that they know. Some people have thrown out a couple options. But I'm not spilling the beans yet. Kim thinks the hospital bill is paid off. And then there's a whole bunch of people that have commented that they think that it's baby time. Oh, Jane says she thinks it's a new job. And hi, love God. Did I say hi to you already? She says it's a new car or a new home. Oh man, that I'm a busy lady apparently. I think you guys are super fun when you're thinking of these. You sold a house. Let's see here. These are some interesting guesses. Bernie thinks we sold a house. And Bernie, just so that you know, it's Bernadette. I just shorten it because, you got it going on, girl. Broken Over It says that. I do have a lot going on actually right now. This has been like a super busy week this week, and this upcoming week is really going to be even more busy, and it's kind of related to the announcement. But even before that, you may know that Chris was summoned for jury duty, so it's kind of like everything is up in the air with that. We sent in a hardship letter that we got from his office. Send it in. What do they do? Do you just not show up then? If you're, I'm not gonna not, I'm gonna, there is no way that Chris is not gonna show up. But, do you get something back that says you're excused? Got nothing. So maybe that's how they deny it. I don't know. So that's coming up. We actually have to check that. I think they should let you know if you're excused. I think so. True Financials is here. Welcome. Yay. You do in Michigan, you get a letter, Kim, or a notification that says that you are not, in the UK, you do also get it. Yeah, well, maybe, watch, we'll get it on Monday at 2 o'clock. But, we're going to check the website to see if he's called up. He's in group number 12 or something. So we're hoping they call 1 through 7 or 1 through 9, because I kind of checked last week and it was, you took the hardship letter in the first day and they excused you. Well, we mailed it in and we were hoping to just not have to go. But in Debt Free Donna says in Georgia you get a letter. True Financial says the day before my jury duty I called and I was discharged from it. Oh. So we're gonna check tonight. Nancy Strong says tell him when he gets called in to tell the judge I believe cops can do no wrong and everyone is guilty. He'll be out of there in 2 minutes. Oh, that's funny. So, and for those of you that have just joined us, I'm going to be making my announcement at 10:15, and we are participating in some super fun speculation about what it might be, and just general shenaniganry regarding those speculations. So, if you have not put a thought to what you think my big announcement is going to be, and I will say that I did want Chris to be here. Hi, Kayakins! Yay! Yay! That after Thursday night's joyous live stream with the kids, it was just decided that it would be better to not take a chance with the kids and for him to just supervise them downstairs. So, I do wish that he was here because I feel like this is something that's like just as much his as mine. So, and I want him to have the feeling of enjoying this with me. So, oh, Marie Bradley said, or Marie Brawley says, you scratched a ticket and won big. You know, Chris does love those scratch off tickets. He is a sucker for them. You know what? And I just missed a comment. I'm gonna have to get on here and get to it to reply to it. So I'm sorry about that, but bear with me. I just am enjoying this. Kim, not far. Oh, we're talking about 15 minutes from the Ohio state line. I bet I've geocached in your area, Nancy. I'm all about like, cause we go to Midwest Geobash, which is at the Fulton County Fairgrounds, and we purposefully drove straight north to get the first cache across the state line in Michigan. So I could get Michigan, and that's how I have the state of Michigan. So, oh, there we go. All right, so okay, so Bernie said, I know we have to call and ask for a delay. In New York, the caretaker of the kids don't have to do jury duty until the youngest turns 7. I'm actually writing my letter today and mailing it Monday, and hopefully we'll have that back because I hope so. Anyway, I'm super, oh, there's a lot of chat amongst yourselves, and I like that. So, oh, we go to the Fulton County Fair every year, Nancy Strong. Well, I camp there every year. And every year we go and we make it like the first night, and then we have to pack up because the kids melt down. Yes. We are hoping that we will go and make it like the 2 nights, because usually we drive down on Thursday, and then Friday we end up coming home. But you should be able to sleep there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then go home Sunday. That's Midwest Geobash. Melting down kids is not fun. Ugh. 4 more minutes. Marie's counting down the time for my my announcement. I'm actually, like, the closer it gets, the more disappointed I'm that Chris isn't getting to hear. So, well, a Midwest Geobash, you can look it up, is in July, and we go and camp there, and it is super fun. I don't think that I've ever missed a year of Midwest Geobash, and there have been years when I was like hugely pregnant, like 2 times. No, one with Evelyn, I was hugely pregnant, and I just remember being like so tired. The big announcement is you bought more zucchini, right? Kayakin says that. That's so funny. There's so much zucchini. Oh my goodness. Gosh, that was funny. Maybe I bought more walnuts. That's what Broken Over It says. I feel like I am still shelling those walnuts. I still have a whole tray that I haven't even put into the container that I'm shelling out of yet. So it's like so much. But, oh, we've got 2 more minutes. I'm super excited about it. The baby bill is paid. I think I covered all the subjects now. So Bernie's made a guess in every category. If zucchini was money, you'd be debt free. I would. I could plant my whole yard in that, and I would be a rich lady. Oh, that's so funny. Let zucchini. 1 more minute. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to share with you guys. I've been sitting on it, not a little while, but a little while. So, a meet and greet maybe. Ooh, that's a fresh guess, Kayakins. That's a new one. Your little avatar is like super cute. It's like a panda, right? Because it kind of cuts off the ears with the circle, but I think I think she's gonna buy a llama. You reached your emergency fund. Broken Over It said the llama. It is a panda hat. And Marie says you've reached your emergency fund. Bendy Wendy, hi Bendy Wendy, welcome. So I will say that last year we went to the alpaca show, and the alpaca show is this weekend, and we missed it. The Buckeye Alpaca, you always say alpaca show. Oh, it's 10:15. Are you guys ready? Okay, so I'm ready to and proud to announce we are debt free! I paid everything off! Yay! I'm so excited. We got our income tax back, and um lotus style meditation and happiness. I am accepting all of the good vibes from the universe right now. So, as you know, we filed our taxes, and I always file my taxes super well. I always file Chris's taxes super early because he is a single job person, so we don't have to wait on 2 or 3 W-2s. It's very easy. We can actually get online and look at his W-2 before we physically get it, so I'm able to even import it in once it's electronically ready. So I was able to go in and to do his taxes right away, which was super simple, and they were submitted before the IRS was actually accepting them. So as soon as they flipped the switch and allowed the returns to come in, it was in. And because this year he has done so much overtime, we did not qualify for earned income credit. He made too much money, like by a little bit, not by a lot either. So like, but because we don't have earned income credit, there's a longer hold time on those. I don't think that those are even being processed until like the 20th of February. Like nothing is coming out, and I had told him we're not going to get like even anything until after the 20th. So I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't thinking about getting it. And I had gone in to pay bills, and yeah, broken over it. So she's still waiting on hers. And I want to say it was like either the 9th or the 10th or the 20th. They're like not even letting any of those go until then. So I went in and looked, and all of a sudden I was like, there's a lot of money in here. Money I did not expect to have. So I got to looking, and I was like, Chris, you got your income tax refund already. And I was like stunned. I was literally in the place where I was not prepared for it in my head. I'm not exactly, I'm just doing crisscross applesauce. But I am sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce. We used to call it Indian style, but that isn't done anymore. I'm old enough where, we've changed. So it's crisscross applesauce, girls. But I don't have like my foot propped up on the other, because I know like lotus style, like you have your one foot, yeah, both feet on top, and I don't. I have both feet underneath. So, but I was not even prepared to like deal with that, with receiving it. It threw me off kilter because I wasn't prepared for it. Like mentally, it was like, just not ready for it. So I got it, and I told Chris, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got this. And I'm like, and I even sat on it for a couple more days because I was like, I know, I was just stunned. And I was like, well, we got this, and I'm going to, I'm going to call Akron General. I actually tried to get online at Akron General because I used to go online and pay my bill through their bill pay system, but their bill pay thing is really wonky. Like sometimes it's available and sometimes it's not. So I got on right away. Like as soon as I decided, I think it was like on a Saturday, I'm thinking I'm going to deal with this. I went on and it was like not available, and I kept checking it, not available, not available. And so I was like, well, I guess we're gonna have to wait till Monday. So Monday came around. Get up at the crack of dawn. I'm up at 4:45. I get everyone else up starting at like 5 o'clock and feeding them breakfast, and Chris is out the door at 6. And I remember like sitting at the table with the computer at 6:30, looking at the time and like waiting. I remember I'm like, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready now. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. So that explains the early morning comment. That's right, because that's what I do is I sit at the table, and at breakfast time when everyone's kind of like still waking up, and yeah, it just, I felt like it took forever. And then I was like, all right, it's 6:30. I'm like, I gotta do something. I got up, I got on the treadmill, did my 45 minutes, and finally I was like, it's time. And at like 8:02, I was on the phone, like holding 8:02. So I was very excited. I called in and I'm like, hi, my name's April Smith and I want to make a payment. And she's like, well, let me see if I can find you. And I'm like, she's like, what's your account number? And I'm like, well, I have 87 of them. Well, let me give you one and see if you can find me. Because all of my accounts had been like collapsed down into, or consolidated into one. So I had one payment. It wasn't so that I felt better or felt like I owed less. I just needed to have like one payment so I could manage that and make sure it got paid. So she's like pulling it up and she's like, oh, I see you have an arrangement with us. And I'm like, have an arrangement. And she's like, I see your payment is $92. She goes, okay, well, I'm ready. How do you want to do that? And I'm like, well, wait, I don't want to pay $92. She's like, what would you like to pay? And I'm like, well, I go, well, what's the balance? And she's like, let me look. And she's like, it's $3,075.09. And I'm like, well, hey, that's number one, less than I thought it was. I thought it was $3,111 and like 56 cents or something. I was like, can I pay that? And she's like, the whole thing? And I'm like, I mean, it wasn't quite like it. She was like, you want to pay the balance? And I'm like, I think I do. And I'm like, please take my money. So I gave her my card number and she's doing it. And I'm like, I want to pay all of it off. I'm like, you're my, I probably can, but it's like really hard with these shoes. I have sticky shoes. Sorry, somebody was asking a question about if I could sit lotus style. I think if I wasn't wearing shoes, I probably could. But, I was like, okay, I'm paying all of this off. And she's like, I'm like, you're my last debt. You're my last debt on baby step 2. And she was like, you could hear it like through the phone. She like made the, it's okay. Don't worry, Wendy. I was like, or she was like, you could hear her make this. I'm like, we're a Dave Ramsey family. I said, you were the last debt in my snowball. And she goes, I've actually heard of Dave Ramsey. And I'm like, we're debt free. She's all like, I think that again, she had a little bit of unexpected like moment with that. So, we paid that off. And then I remember I kept like waiting for it to clear my bank, waiting for it to clear the bank. You know how, cause it'll say pending. And I just remember it, like, it took until like Wednesday. I think it was pending for like 2. Yeah, I mean, I kind of inadvertently did debt-free scream in their ear. So I was very excited. I'm like, you don't understand. This is like the last thing. So I did that this week. I did that on Monday, and I am so excited. And I did share it with Broken Over It because she is like my debt buddy. And hi Cassie Tate. She's like, I just feel like she is like in the trenches with me on the baby step 2 front, and it's like there's there's a couple things. There's like a couple people that I watch. Like, I feel like Wendy Valencia and I have a parallel. Well, her debt is like this huge, scary to me number. Essentially, her timetable for payoff, like this 5-year thing that she has going on, parallel to what I did. So, like, percentage-wise, parallel. But I feel like Broken Over It is, like, very much, like, mechanically and in the trenches doing the same thing that I am doing and how I'm doing it. So it's like, there's like kinship on both sides of those for different reasons. And it was just really, oh, I'm gonna get weepy now. Like, I'm like so moved. I know when I'm like totally like having emotion because like you're the first people. I mean, like Chris knows, and like, but this is like the first time I'm really sharing it. I am like really they're happy tears. I'm not sad. I know that. I'm not sad. Um, I do I do have like emotions with it. Um, oh, please stay. If you can stop getting into the world of debt, don't go there. It's a bad place. I know there's a lot of people there and everyone's like, come on in. It's like bathwater. Everyone's here, but everybody's in the bathwater and that's gross, dude. That's kind of how debt is. It's really yucky once you get in there. So, um, uh, anyway, I have feelings. There's a lot of feelings. So now, if you don't know that one of my New Year's goals is to figure out what my actual baby step 3 number is, and it was one of the goals that I had targeted to do in the first 3 months, because I'm doing things in like 12-week chunks, which I really like. So the things to do in my first 12 weeks was to pay off Akron General, which was to be debt free, to explore the LASIK surgery option, and to get my baby step 3 all hammered out so that I knew how much it does take. Sarah says, I think it takes a while for it to settle in. You are debt free. It is true. I have spent 5 years like just climbing, like I keep going, just keep paying it off, pay this off, pay this off, pay this off. And it's like, you're not too late, Meredith. Welcome. Meredith, I'm debt free. I'm debt free, Meredith. I'm sorry. It's just so exciting. Anyway, but I this came so early. I haven't even gotten my baby step 3 number completely settled. Like I keep telling them, I have all of March. I have time to do that. And it's like I really need that now, because now that this is paid off, my budget needs to really know what that number is so that I can start to appropriately fund that. So, Farm Girl, the fact that you showed up is all that matters. Just, you showed up. Do it. Oh, do it Tarzan style. This is going to be like the cheesiest video ever. I'm debt free! That was terrible. Oh, that's what he does. I was doing this. He should have done this. But anyway, so in the spirit of keeping a list, you know that we have the list here. Oh, it's on this side. My glitter list. Look, I checked off Akron General. I paid the real estate tax also. That's $682. So my real estate taxes are done for the year. So that has happened. I think I just did that like on Tuesday. So there's a certain amount of relief with that. So my number altered as our budget changed. The huge chunks not going to, yeah. Well, all of a sudden we have these huge chunks and I need to direct them to the right place in the smartest way. And I am not ready for that. I'm unprepared. It's not that I'm not ready. I'm ready to do that. I want to do that, but I am unprepared to do it properly. So the second thing on our list was a new hot water tank. And I called on Monday. Wait, maybe I called on Thursday or Friday. I just called. And I have that scheduled. We are getting a new hot water tank. They are coming on Tuesday to pull out the old one, to replace it, and to put in the new one. So for those that have not, that didn't see when I was talking about this, we have lived in this house 7 years. I moved in November of 2011. So it's been a little while. The hot water tank was here when we got here. We had to have a little plumbing work done. And the plumber was like, hey, your hot water tank is long in the tooth. He said, you don't need to replace it. It's not failing like at this moment. But he said, you just need to be aware that it's going to fail sooner than later, so maybe you want to put a little money aside for it. He said that in November 2011. Number one, it has not failed. It did not, and really, it still works, but we have noticed a decline in it's just not working as well as it used to. We don't have as much hot water as we used to. We notice it more often. And I can tell you that a subscriber was like, go down and turn it up. Like, and I did that. I totally did that. And it hasn't exactly remedied the situation. So, I had a really good consult with my plumber, who is like a great plumber. I've had him, yeah, so Broken Over, it says, I tell people when I'm troubleshooting their computers, it's not failing yet, but put money aside for it because it's coming. He's worked on my rental houses. He's worked on this house. He's worked on my mom's house. Like, very thorough, good work. And so he's coming in. We are upgrading from a 40 to a 50-gallon tank. And that, it was great. It was able to quote me a price, $1,056. That's for the water tank, installation, and removal, tax out the door. He said that's it. That's the total. So I'm grateful to have that done on Tuesday. Then the next thing on our list is to have Carly repaired right here. And I have $1,000 set aside for that. Now, I will tell you that Akron General was $3,000, and we didn't think we were getting our money until the end of February, and I would have put another $1,000 towards that, or $1,500. I was wondering how many people are in your mom's house. Just two. Just my mom and Shane. It's just two. They have a little house. It's cute. So it took more money to pay off Akron General, but we agreed that whatever it was going to take is what it would take. So we're starting to do the cash flowing towards our priority list, which I also had mentioned in the previous video where I was talking about this, that this is kind of the thing that we're going for the year on, for our priorities. So I have the $1,000 to, yay, Mary Lancaster, you finally made a video. Mary Lancaster, I'm debt free. That's my announcement. Also in this time, yeah, I know. I want to, let me finish what I'm talking about with this, because I want to talk to you guys too. That's part of the reason that I love these Sunday live streams, is because we get to just like chat and interact too. I always like to have a topic and do my topic, but then I like to talk the last half, and I know that we're already in the last half, but we did 15 minutes of John at the beginning. So the money that's coming in, thank you, Carrie. I'm working on this list. So the hot water tank is funded, Carly repair is funded, the real estate tax is done, and so the next thing that we're working on is car insurance. And all right, so Mary Lancaster has requested the scream, so when you go back and watch this one, there's like 5 screams, dude. Who cares? You get to do this like, I'm debt free! We're cash flowing a lot of these expenses, along with putting money into our savings account. So the car insurance, I actually expect to have paid off, or this month, which means I will have the next 6 months prepaid, because it doesn't even come due until March. So we're really good to that. So then after that, the next priority is going to be $1,000 for Geo Woodstock. And we're just driving down this year. We're not taking like a whole week or 2 weeks or anything like that. It's in Cincinnati. It's close. It's like 3.5, 4 hours away. I think we're going to go down and spend like 2 nights, like a Friday, Saturday, and then come home on Sunday. It's a Giga event, and I'm going. Can't miss it. Just cannot miss it. So then after that is funding Christmas, which Chris and I have decided is going to be $3,000 total for everything and everybody. I do believe that we picked kind of a higher number because there will be computers being bought this year. It's going to be time. I would scream along with you, but my family thinks I'm crazy already. It's gassy date. That's a. It's good times. It's fun being in crazy land. It really is. So I believe, like I said, we're going to be buying new computers for both of us this year. So that's going to suck up kind of a lot of it. Uh, Evelyn, who is the destroyer of computers, I've had, I think this is like the 5th or 6th computer I've had since I've moved into this house. Do the math on that one. Broken Over It has a pink sparkly straight jacket. Ooh, is it the kind where if you rub it, it goes and then it's another color and then this? Because that would be like the funnest one. It would drive you crazy. You'd be like, anyway. I think Chris is a little numb. Meredith asks, how does Chris feel? I think Chris is a little numb. And I feel like he is, because unlike me, who is like working with the numbers and making the payments and talking to the people and like doing those things, for him, it's more of a removed process. And I think it will be more real for him when he sees that we have more money to do things, because he's like, do we get more spending money? That was the first thing he says. Does that mean we get more personal money? And I told him no, not until we actually get baby step 3 done. So, and he was a little disappointed with that, but it is what it is. Had to move out of crisscross applesauce, Wendy, if you're still here, Bendy Wendy. So I have my legs straight, and I have a straight leg and a bent knee. So when you have lobster on the table every week, he'll feel it. That's a lot of kind of how it's going to be. I won't need to be so so tight with things. Like, I think when there's a little less no spending, he hates those no spends. Oh, he hates them. Hates them. I love them because I feel like it moves us so much forward. But yeah, I think that when he will experience it more through that than, whereas for me, I'm like, not paying that anymore. Like, I'm here and now. Also, I'm here talking with you about it. I'm here like having that experience with him, and that was part of the reason why I was like, I really wanted him to be here so that he could experience this. You know what? We should go and cut the loops, and I should make him scream and do a video. I want you to know that I did cut loops and I filmed it, and that film was in the wind. I don't know what happened to it. I was very, very disappointed that, because I really enjoy filming those, and when the people ask for it, I like to provide it. So after that paper went kind of far away, guys. After Christmas, it's going to be filling the envelope for new tires for yellow. And Bernadette says, I knew that's what he would ask. He's just like my hubby. And Meredith says he's worked so hard with it, or worked so hard for it, it's well deserved. We're going to do $500 for tires for yellow, and essentially we're going to put that in an envelope, and when it's time to actually sell yellow, or when these tires fail, we will put them on. But until then, they're still serviceable. It's just in order to sell the vehicle, we feel like it will be easier to get more money for it with that benefit. And then we have $400 for tires for Grandma, which is not my mom, but his gray truck that he calls Grandma, which I realize can be a little confusing. And then after that, our goal is going to be car replacement, which we are looking to save about $15,000 for. So that is some chunky monkey goals. That ties in with that Tarzan scream. So, I am so excited to be done with this. Also, I'm going to say this about when I was talking about like not having the baby step 3 and how it has totally changed the budgeting. When I go in, and it's like always every bit of extra money went to Akron General. It was automatic, and it was like there was no thinking about it. You did this process, everything went to Akron General. You did this process, everything went to Akron General. Now it is not that way. Now there is a hierarchy of, so it's like the first thing is you pay your bills, and then you put your percentage towards your, your savings. So you put your money in the savings, and then you have to look at the list, the hierarchy of needs. So but I do actually believe that, with the exception of car replacement, my grandbabies are always watching with me, and they just asked, where are them girls at? They are downstairs wrestling with their dad. I can hear them. I hope you cannot. Just because of the noise factor. But now it's like going through the hierarchy of needs, and also hashtag nerdy girl. I went through and was like pulling out all of this stuff through like April and May. After listening to you, I see how much you have overcome. Definitely something I don't want to mess around with. It's a lot. And Meredith says, funny, I was just thinking about the girls. They crazy. They're a handful. So, but I had to go in and rearrange everything and kind of target everything out. So Sarah Lewis says, are you paying yourself even when the money goes to goals? Is it still there instead of just gone? You are paying yourself even when money goes to goals. It is still there instead of just gone. And that's true. That it is. It's like we're receiving something for that now instead of it just going into the ether. We do receive something for that, and that is a change. Also, I feel like Chris will begin to feel the debt-freeness of it when those things start to come in, and they're done really fast, because I don't think he has a grasp completely. Like, he knows it, but he doesn't feel it. When we're putting $1,800 a month to debt, like, that's a lot of money to get to choose what to do with. And when you're putting $1,800 a month and you have $1,000 thing, well, that's this month. And then next month you had $200 or $800 going towards this, and another it's like you're going to do two things off the list. So these things are going to go really fast for him. And in fact, I've done some projections, and these things will most likely be done by June or July. What? Except for the car. So that's like crazy fast, and I think that he will appreciate that, because right now he could buy tires for grandma the truck, but when it comes around in June and there'll be money for tires for him to run around in, he's gonna appreciate that and understand it more. So Meredith says, I love their short hair. Well, their short hair is not purposeful. Number one, they have really curly hair. So even when it's wet and it's long, you know how when your hair gets wet, you see it's like extra long looking? Well, for the girls, they have curly hair, so it's curly and it can be long, but it like all curls up and is short. And then, fun time, Helena, is your name Helena or Helena? Which one do you use? Because I know both of those names can be spelled the same way that you do it. It's kind of like, for those of us who are old, watched 90210, and there was Andrea, Andrea, and Andrea. And she was Andrea. Spelled the same, just pronounced differently. So, well, that's all right. I like your name. But is it Helena or Helena? Like Helena Montana, or Helena, like boxing Helena? The girls went to the Akron Marathon Fun Run, Helena, like Montana. Okay. And I took their little hairs and I got it wet, and I did these super cute little pigtails, and they were like spirally little cute things, and they were like short, like, anyway, real cute. And we ran, we did our thing, and then Chris came and picked them up, and I went to the Akron Marathon Expo with my mom, and there was a super awesome shopping haul for, I'm pretty sure I had to break it into two, and it's in the Thrifttober 2017 playlist if you want to see it. And the next morning was the Akron Marathon, and I was volunteering there, so I had to get up at like 4 in the morning and go to the University of Akron and check in. I was volunteering at the finish line, So I got up real early. Nobody else got up with me. I went out the door, did my thing. So meanwhile, while I was at the expo, Chris brought the girls home, got McDonald's for them. They ate McDonald's and like they were just zonked out. Cool. And so they went to bed. Chris let them go to bed. He didn't change their clothes, like didn't do anything with their hair. He just like put fresh diapers on them and went to bed. So the next morning, he's zonked out because, he worked all day. And then he went to the Akron Marathon, picked up the kids and all that stuff. So they get up before him after I've left. Proceed to get the scissors out. Doink. Doink. Actually, Evelyn did Lillian. And Lillian returned the favor and cut the pigtails off. So essentially, they had a bald spot right here. It was like cropped right up next to the head on both of them on both sides. Now, because their hair is like still like kind of short, there was like little curly things like kind of around, and then these weird bald spots. So, yeah. You guys remember the joy of that. There's some vlogs about that too. Like there's one where I'm like, I'm so frustrated. Crazy Aunt Wendy, don't cut their hair like that. But I will tell you that my kids do enjoy some, we call it toddler yoga, baby yoga. They love doing that. I'm not very good at it, and I only know like 4 things to do with them, but whatever I'm doing, they try to do, and it's pretty funny. So, yeah. So now their hair, it's like this part has grown back in, but on both of them, it's like they have a ring around here that is longer and curlier, and then this is kind of straighter. It doesn't look like abnormal, but it does actually make it easier to brush though. So that happened with my girl's short haircut. That's why their hair looks like that. Otherwise, they would look probably a little afro-y because they're so curly, because Chris has super curly hair. Curly hair does not come from my side, as you can see. And my mom also has super straight hair. So I got into a story, so I'm going to look at some of these comments again. But so Mary says her 5-year-old granddaughter has hair down to her tuchus, and she refuses to get it cut. But my 4-year-old granddaughter and my 2-year-old grandson has really curly hair too, and it can be a pain to manage. I'm going to tell you that, yes. Here. All right. Bendy Wendy wants me to try sitting on Lotus again. I'm going to take my shoes off. So, oh yeah, that was crazy. Who says this? Cassie Tate says, my son has really curly hair. Constantly being told that he's a pretty little girl, bless him. Well, that's okay, guys. People come up and ask whether Evelyn is a boy or a girl all the time. Also, people are like, oh, you have twins! And I'm like, no, dude, they're not twins. They're not twins. Oh, I cracked. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't. I probably need to just practice. Well, I've got one foot up and 1 foot down. So, here, can you? No, it's not going to do it. I got 1 foot up and 1 foot down. So I got the foot on this side up and the foot on this side down. But I had to wear boys' clothes in my poor childhood. I was mad when people called me a boy. Well, I don't know that I'm stiff like the Tin Man, but I ain't used to this. I can tell you that. Maybe I need to get rid of all this fat first. It says next flexibility goal or fitness goal, flexibility. But I'm going to tell you, I found that we put Evelyn and Lillian in boys' clothes very often because, number one, I like dark clothes because they don't show the stains, and girls are all pink and white and pastel. Ugh. So we did buy actually a lot of like boys' clothes and like reds and blues and browns because they lasted longer. They're just better. They're also like warmer. They were like thicker and warmer. So, Oh, in the long hair forum, I belong to the curly girls. Never brush until washing day. Say it makes the curls frizz. I have stick straight hair, so I only hear it say, well, let me tell you something. My kids, before they cut their own hair, never wanted their hair brushed because it was always so ratty. But after they cut it, because this short, it just removed enough bulk that it was really easy to brush. And now they're cool with it being brushed, which is nice. So, but thank you, Wendy, for the nice try. I appreciate that. Um, like I said, we practice, like, we do like the downward facing dog. The girls love to do that. We do toddler yoga. Like sometimes we do the one where you stand on one foot and then do your leg back and your arm forward, like balancing. That's always fun to watch the kids do because all of us are struggle with that. And then I also like to do the one, the unbalanced airplane or whatever, where you're on your knee and your arm and you do one foot and then one leg back. That one, we like to do that a lot. I like to do that with the girls. um, and then you move it so that it's out to the side, that leg. And it's harder than it sounds. Actually, what it is I do everything that the Biggest Loser ultimate workout on the Xbox 360, that yoga workout, kind of like whatever that is. So Bonnie says, congrats on being debt free. I bet you feel so much relief that no spends were worth it. The no spends were always worth it, because those months really advanced me ahead. I feel like instead of making like 1 month's progress, I might make 2 or 3 months progress in those months. So I feel like those were 100% worth doing. And to a certain extent, with the no spend months, it is flexing a muscle and learning how to problem solve without the use of extra money, which is a thing. So, are you having more kids? Maybe, probably not. Future no spends towards the car fund? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I bet Chris will want to do a no spend if that's what it's for. Sarah Lewis says, I'm debt free and still do no spend months. That's good times. I feel like we could do a no spend month and go on vacation with that money. Oh, and that's something else that is far out. And I've mentioned this before, but I was like, well, really, I'm not going to do much with it until after we're debt free, because that's like the thing. 2017 is going to be 2017. No. 2020 is the next triannual Girl Scout convention. It will be in Orlando, and I want to volunteer for that again. You know what? When I get done with the story, Sarah, remind me, because I want to talk about your comment. There's something I have to say about that. Important. The Girl Scout convention is going to be in Orlando, and I really want to go, and I want to do the whole week again. I really want my mom to come with me. I don't need her to volunteer, but I want her to come and just experience some of the fun and the fellowship of the Girl Scout environment. I want her to have like a little nice vacation. And Orlando, yeah, 2020, Orlando. The Girl Scout convention is going to be there. So also what I want to do, I'm going to go down for this week. I'm going to with you, even though I'm not a Girl Scout. You know what? You'll probably, ooh. Then after that week, or actually like the weekend, I want the kids and Chris to come in like that Friday, the last Friday of the convention, so that the girls can go in and do the Hall of Experiences, because I am so excited that I have girls that I can share Girl Scouting with, and they're finally going to be like of age, like, to experience this. It's a big thing for me, like my values for me. And then I want to take another week, the week after, and I want to go to Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. I've been to Disneyland a bunch of times, a couple of times. Have good stories from there. But I want to go and I want to do like the traditional Disney vacation with my family, and I know that's going to be very expensive. And the way I'm going to say this, and I mean this, but I don't care. I'm going to spend some money. I want to have that traditional Disney family vacation. And that's kind of the week, that 2 weeks all together. So that is going to be a big thing. So probably after the car replacement, that'll be like the next big goal that we will be going towards. And then Sarah Lewis made a comment, and I'm going to read it here. It says, it helps meet goals, and they're, even if they're just fun goals. And I know she's talking about the no spend months, and somebody, oh, that Calicanai advertisements, but he talks about that Tony Robbins says you can sum up like what makes like the path to happiness is progress. It's making progress towards whatever it does not matter, like whatever your goal is, that you are going to be the happiest when you feel like you are working towards and making progress towards a goal. And that's 100% true. So when you say that even when you're just like little fun goals, the point is when you're making progress and you feel that progress, it is the most satisfying, most fulfilling thing that you can do as a person, is to make progress. So yes, Sarah Lewis, that's true. We are at 56 minutes. Holy smokes, I've been yapping and yapping. This has been nice though, guys. I'm so happy to share this with you. So if you have not done so, click the thumbs up button, the like button for me. I totally can use the likies. And I'm super excited how much chatter there has been in the room. Meredith says she grew up 2 hours from Orlando. She grew up in Tampa. The parks are amazing, especially Universal Studios. It's a magical town. Now, again, I've been to Universal Studios out west. That's fun. I've ridden that Jurassic Park, I don't know how many times I've ridden. Oh, so many times. But I know that Orlando is it's a whole different bag of beans. It's an entirely different experience. And I remember growing up and people drove down to Florida. Everyone drives to Florida up here, like, because we cheap. And in Ohio, it's like the nicest vacation that you can do is to drive to Florida and go to Disney. It's like a nice thing. Like, going to Europe is not nice. It's not the thing. It's Busch Gardens. I've never been to Busch Gardens. But Busch Gardens has always been a thing that was talked about. Williamsburg, Virginia, that was always like maybe the next tier down would be like the Carolinas, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach. Like that would be like when you didn't want to go as far, like maybe you didn't have as much time. Busch Gardens. So those are all familiar things to me. So also, I'm kind of excited to see where Geo Woodstock is going to be, not this year, but next year, because that dictates a lot of where our family vacation is going to be. And since it's so close to home, it's not like an anticlimactic vacation, but like we go to, are you going to make a bucket list of, yeah, I do. I already have that, Sarah Lewis. Anyway, we typically go, and we have not had one on the West Coast in the time that we have been going, like Chris and I. We've been to, oh, look here. Okay, I totally have it. Right here. These are I have my bucket list. It's an actual thing. Will you do Geo Woodstock in Florida and yes, we will. Thank you. Because the Girl Scout convention is in October. It's always like the first weekend in October, so we would be looking at October. The Girl Scout convention is on it. I want to go to Disney. Tampa has Busch Gardens. Oh, I didn't realize that. It's in Florida. Busch Gardens. We used to get advertisements for Busch Gardens all the time up here. Disney. I want to go to Christmas at Disney because I just want to see Christmas there. I want to go on a European river cruise. I want to go to Thailand. I want to see the Nutcracker live, like dancing. I want to see the Moscow Ballet. I don't have to go to Moscow. I just want to see it. They come here. It's a thing. They come here. I want to see Star Wars with a live orchestra. / I want to see any movie with this. The Star Wars thing is its own important thing. But as a subset of that, I want to see a movie with a live orchestra. I'm going to go to Germany. because I just feel like Germany is really cool and I want to go to Switzerland with my mom. And I feel like that's a together trip. And then I want to also go to Prince Edward Island and see all of the Anne of Green Gables stuff. Now, this is not, I'm sure, like all of my list, but that's the beginnings of my bucket list. So, oh yeah, maybe the Nutcracker and the Moscow Ballet. I'm like so excited about it. It just, I want to see that. It's just something that I want to do. Just want to do it. So, anyway, that's my bucket. That's the beginning of my bucket list. So, yeah. Oh, and just so that you know, we did go to. Oh, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna have to go because it's like 60 minutes. I want to keep this reasonable. The year I was pregnant with Evelyn, so 2013. Jill Woodstock was in Florida at some Florida state park. I'd have to look it up to tell you what it was. I went there. I was so stinking pregnant with Evelyn. I was like 7 months pregnant because it's at the end of May and she was born at the beginning of August. So literally I was like the huge pregnant lady. It was hot and it was uncomfortable. But we went to SeaWorld. Do you know how many times I've been to SeaWorld? A bunch, because we used to have a SeaWorld here in Aurora, which is 45 minutes from me. Yeah, there was a SeaWorld in Ohio. Did you know that? True story. But we went down, we did Daytona. We went to Daytona, the track, and did the big tour, the expensive one. Totally worth it. Great cookies there. And because my mom's husband's family has a duplex in Sanford, you know, that place, you know, Trayvon Martin? Yeah, that place. Right after that happened. Went down there and stayed. So, used to live right behind, well, we used to live there, or not used to live there, but we went there, and the bridge across the thing, and that Denny's was the worst service ever. I got so mad I walked out of that place. But, anyway, oh, yes, the Shamu blimp. I remember that. Oh. We went to SeaWorld for school. We went to SeaWorld so many times. I had the SeaWorld puppet, and when you did its mouth, it went squeak, squeak, squeak. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Oh, you got your cash envelopes, Esther. Yay! She says, hi, April. I love my cash envelopes. They're beautiful and handy. Yay! And they are, like, super thick, aren't they? Like, that's the best, like, cardstock I've ever found. It's so pretty. It's so nice. I'm all excited about that. I'm going to get more of those made and put in the shop. So, thank you, Esther. Yay! But I am going to go ahead and wrap this up because we're at 63 minutes. But, Woodstock was here in Sunrise, I meant. I'm going to go on a tangent again. Liev Schreiber, dressed as a woman in a movie about Woodstock. Just saying. I totally like him. You know, he's like nice. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for coming. Hit the thumbs up if you have not done so. I appreciate you and your time, and I am so excited about being debt-free. Thank you, guys. Bye. Ooh, bye.